Formula One team needs to be flexible and adaptable. That's what kind of Formula One racing is. So we're trying to anticipate. We've done some dry runs when it comes to things like logistics and importing and exporting because we race around the world. But I'm confident we'll just react when and if Brexit happens and what actually ends up happening.
You source a lot of your components from the EU, so at this stage of the game, are you having to deploy your cash reserve to do some stockpiling?
No, because everything on a Formula One car is unique and kind of in the moment, so it's pretty hard to kind of pre-order down the road if you'd like. So we'll just react, when and if it happens, into what the new rules of the game are.
I wonder, Zach, if the bigger worry for you is how your sponsors react, because Brexit is one uncertainty hanging out there, but really what we're talking about here at the Singapore Summit are slowdown fears tied to the China-U.S. trade tensions. Are you seeing any reluctance from your existing sponsors to spend, or at least any pullback in their budget?
Well, what they want is greater flexibility, and they know they're going to be in business for a long time, and you got to kind of find that balance, don't you, between kind of pulling back and being a little cautious because you're not sure what's going to happen, but at the same time, you got to keep growing your business. So, kind of the whole flexible, adaptable thing, you need to be a good partner and being able to maneuver around. And yeah, I think anytime you have uncertainty in the world, that causes people to be a little bit more reserved.
Do you think that post-Brexit your costs are going to go up?
I hope not.
But are you budgeting for that?
Yeah, ultimately there is going to be a cost cap that comes into Formula One in 2021, so we're going to have a ceiling on what we're allowed to spend. So that's kind of good news for the sport, is we may get less for our money in the future, but we do have a cap on what we're going to spend.
Speaking of spending, let's talk about not just the spending, but the time and the energy you are devoting to your new car, rolling out in 2020. A lot of hype around this one. Can you give us your assessment of how pleased you are with the progress to get this car going? A lot of people out there who watch F1 were saying, how do you do this equation, whereas you have an improved position this year at number 4 from where we were last year, and you simply don't want to sacrifice resources, take away from that strength, and just devote it to the next car, but you don't want to get behind either. So where are we today in terms of what that looks like going forward?
The men and women at McLaren have done an outstanding job over the winter and have produced a much better car than when we were sitting here this time last year, which I'm quite pleased about. Now what we need to do is, you're constantly developing these race cars, and we're continuing to develop the 2019 car. That will now slow down and will ramp up the 2020 car. This is also a unique year because 2021, there's brand new rules, so we already have a team starting to work on the 2021 car. So we're actually working on 3 cars right now.
How much are you relying on technology for all of these upgrades? And we were having a bit of a debate between ourselves, like when it comes down to it, when you have a win, everyone's like, yeah, it was an amazing driver, but how much was it actually the technology or the improved engine? Like, are we becoming more technology reliant as opposed to human skill reliant?
Yeah, I think the sport's very technology driven. If you look at where all the teams are in the championship, there's a direct correlation between spend and therefore the technology and the drivers. I think in 2021 they're going to try and bring a little bit more of a balance back to have the driver maybe be a bigger influence than they are today. That being said, you need the best drivers in the world, and we're really happy with our 2 new drivers that we have this year, Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.